It is not okay for a single supplier to be given contracts that last for several decades. Speaking to ANN7, Schalk Human, who has now been deployed as Chief Director of Supply Chain Technology, said Eskom's procurement methods for coal need to change. As the acting Chief Procurement Officer, Schalk Human controlled the strings of the Treasury purse.
It's not okay if you have a report or a contract for 20 years with the same supplier. Then we have an old boys club, and it really results in monopolies and a concentration of supply. And therefore, these extensions are managed. Strategic commodities like coal needs a different sourcing strategy. Initially, when those mines were built, they were built on the coal fields. You're certainly not going to truck in coal from 500 kilometers. Those mines were built with the intention that conveyor belts will deliver the coal, and with the aging of mines, the supply became further and further and further. It also now becomes imminent. There's many black-owned companies that play in those fields of coal supply, small players, and it is wise to open it up that all have access to these opportunities.
Evergreen contracts mean years of guaranteed profits for a handful of companies. Here's a list of some of the companies and their long-term contracts with Eskom. Exxaro's Matla Colliery contract is for 40 years. Grootegeluk Colliery's contract for Medupi is for 50 years. Grootegeluk Colliery contract for Matimba is for 40 years. Exxaro makes roughly around 320 billion rands from these contracts. BHP Billiton, which is now called South 32, has a 40-year-long contract for Middelburg Mine Services and Kuthala Colliery. These contracts translate into almost guaranteed profits for decades. Anglo-American, too, has 40-year-long deals for Kriel Colliery, New Val Colliery and New Denmark Colliery. One of the companies that is part of this exclusive coal club is Exxaro. There are several instances where Exxaro played hardball with Eskom, forcing them into paying way more than market prices and sometimes even for nothing. ANN7 had earlier brought to light the arm twisting by Exxaro in the Medupi contract, where the company ended up pocketing 6.7 billion rands without supplying a single piece of coal. Here's just one example of Exxaro's contract for the Medupi power station. Eskom signed a long-term agreement with Exxaro in 2008. The contract for coal from Grootegeluk mine for Medupi power station. Eskom hasn't been able to take away coal from May 2012. Coal cannot be taken due to the delay in construction and lack of storage capacity. Eskom has already paid 6.7 billion rands to Exxaro till date as penalties. Eskom exploring options to use Medupi coal stockpile. Exxaro is reluctant to assist Eskom in transporting the coal to Richards Bay Coal Terminal. Exxaro agrees to divert coal to Matimba Power Station, but only until 2017. Eskom says Exxaro is acting tough during negotiations to mitigate this impact. Now, Schalk Human says it is criminal and the matter is under investigation.
The nature of that specific contract is a little bit more complex. I would agree with you fully. Paying that amount of money without services would not only be non-compliant to the PFMA, but it will be blatantly criminal. My suggestion is that that specific transaction, let's allow the investigation to be completed and then call any person that may have been involved in wrongdoing to order. It would be the right thing to do.